The overarching goal of Buddhist practice involves escaping the endless cycle of suffering known as samsara, eventually reaching a state of total liberation called nirvana. In his earliest discourses, the historical Buddha presented these as two strictly different, mutually exclusive dimensions. You are either trapped in the cycle or you have exited it. But centuries later, the scholar Nāgārjuna codified a different understanding in his written arguments. He claimed that samsara and nirvana are actually the exact same thing. This leaves us with a central mystery. How can the mechanical trap of existence and the finality of freedom occupy the exact same space? To explain this, teachers often use the metaphor of a snake and a rope. Imagine walking down a path in the dark and freezing in terror because you see a coiled shape on the ground. A teacher first validates the student's fear by offering a way to escape the snake. This is the epistemological step, the Buddha's approach, which uses conventional logic to calm the mind and address the immediate experience of suffering. Once the panicked student is finally calm, the teacher turns on the lights to reveal the ontological truth. There was never a snake, only a length of rope. This is Nāgārjuna's approach. The object itself never changed. The only transformation happened in the mind of the observer. To see how our own perspective creates this terrifying projection, we can look to the mechanics of an optical illusion. M.C. Escher, seen here in his studio, spent his career visualizing these types of logical paradoxes and impossible physical spaces. This diagram maps relativity's geometry, three intersecting staircases with different gravitational orientations. They form infinite loops where up and down lose meaning. In Mādhyamika's zigzag logic, epistemologically, the figures walk opposite directions. Ontologically, they traverse the exact same stone block. Reality itself is not broken. The logical contradiction arises from the rigid, fixed perspective of the individual observer. Look at the inhabitants of Escher's world. They perform mundane tasks, completely ignoring the people right next to them who exist in seemingly impossible orientations. This behavior illustrates the concept of svabhava. Svabhava refers to the illusion of own nature, the belief that things and our own selves possess a permanent, independent substance or identity. The philosopher Dogen compared this to a boat trip. When gazing at the shore from a moving deck, your mind creates the illusion that the land slides past while you remain a fixed point. Like the people on Escher's stairs, we believe our personal gravity is the absolute truth because we project our own ego onto the world. This ego-projection, insisting that our subjective viewpoint is objective truth, traps us in the cycle of samsara. Escher used highly precise mathematics to render scenes that are physically impossible to build. Nāgārjuna employed a similar method. He used rigorous, airtight logic to prove that our categorized view of the world is actually absurd, using reason to dismantle itself. This creates a profound sense of isolation. Escher's figures share the same environment, yet they inhabit different realities and cannot interact. Samsaric suffering functions like this architectural isolation. It is a lonely prison built entirely from our own subjective mental constructions. If our suffering is a construct of our perspective, what remains when we finally stop constructing? Consider reality when you remove the ego, when concepts like up and down no longer dominate your perception. Nāgārjuna defines this unmediated reality as tattva, the nature of things as they truly are, independent of our mental categories, labels, and conceptual proliferation. Nirvana occupies the exact same staircase you've always walked, finally perceived without the distorting lens of the self.